This video shows 4 acupressure points to use for headache. Headaches are very common. The usual treatment for headaches involves over-the-counter drugs such as aspirin, paracetamol, also known as Tylenol, or ibuprofen. Unfortunately, these drugs do have side effects. Headaches should be distinguished from migraines, which cause a more severe throbbing on the side of the head and may involve sensitivity to light or nausea, in which case it is important to consult with your doctor. Regular headaches may have different causes, for example, overstraining the eyes by staring at a screen too much, lack of sleep, not enough fluid, prolonged periods of stress. Headaches can be a result of hangovers from drinking too much alcohol and your liver having to detoxify the excess toxins from your system. Colds or flus can also cause headaches, as well as periods. Acupressure is a technique derived from acupuncture and is a treatment modality of traditional Chinese medicine. It has been used for centuries in Asia, in countries such as China, Japan, and Korea, for relieving pain, illness, and injury. Acupressure uses fingers instead of needles at the acupoints and is an effective, non-invasive supportive treatment for various clinical complaints and has limited side effects. When a person has a headache, it is quite typical that they will rub their temples. This should be a good clue that for this kind of headache, acupressure can help. And in fact, there is a point on the temples that is a well-known acupressure point called Taiyang, which I will show in this video. Other things can help too. Putting a wet or cool compress on the forehead can help relieve the heat in the muscles of the scalp that build up during headaches. You could use a simple wet wipe instead. Here are some research studies on the use of acupressure for headaches. In the American Journal of Chinese Medicine, 2010, there's this article, Effect of Acupressure and Trigger Points in Treating Headache, a randomized controlled trial. In this study, 13 patients received acupressure and 13 patients received pharmaceutical therapy as a control group. The participants in the acupressure group received 8 sessions of acupressure treatment as well as vitamin B complex as a placebo, and the other group received muscle relaxant medication. The two groups were followed up 6 months later. It was found that the pain scores were found to be significantly lower in the group that had acupressure. They also showed substantial improvements in sleep disturbance and neck pain. In another journal of pain, headache and vertigo, in this case study carried out in Indonesia called Acupressure as a Method for Reducing Head Pain in Tension-Type Headache. Tension-type headache is described as a pain felt in the back of the head, the occipital area, and in the front, which is tense due to the permanent contraction of the muscles of the scalp, forehead, and neck, accompanied by extracranial vasoconstriction that can persist for a certain period of time. So it's basically saying that the muscles in the head, the scalp, and neck get very tight, and there's a constriction of the blood vessels. So acupressure can help because it helps have a relaxing effect on the whole body and can help relieve the tension. In this study, a 37-year-old woman presenting with headaches. Over 7 days, she was encouraged to practice acupressure every day for 10 minutes, and she was given 4 points to practice. Next, we will look at 4 acupressure points for headaches. Taiyang. Taiyang is on the temple. As said before, when a person has a headache, they are often drawn to rub their temples. It is possible to find a tight band of muscle which feels better after massaging. Taiyang is a point that people intuitively rub. It is about 1 finger breadth away from the corner of the eye, on a line midway between the outer edge of the eyebrow and the outer canthus of the eye. You can usually find a hollow area where your finger falls into. Here I am demonstrating on a model. Find the point and press or massage gently for 20 seconds. This is an easy point to do on yourself. Simply press and release, or massage the point in a circular way. So gallbladder 20, it's on the back of the neck, just below the occipital bone. And I'm just going to demonstrate on someone else. You simply find this little depression, and it's kind of on either side of the neck, just below the bone of the skull. You can sink your thumbs into it, and you can do this yourself, and just simply press and release, press and release, press and release. You can do some circular motions, or you can just simply sink and just leave it there. This point is called large intestine 4, or hegu in Chinese. It is on the dorsum of the hand. It's at the high point of this muscle, which is in between the thumb and the index finger. When you bring your thumb and finger together, find the point and again sink into it. This is a contraindicated point for pregnant women because it is supposed to make the energy of the body descend. This point is known as a pain relieving point, particularly for the upper body. It's used in Chinese medicine for toothache, for headaches, for migraine, for neck pain. To find the large intestine 4 point, bring your thumb and index finger together, and where you see a bulge in the muscle on the top of the hand, this is where the point can be found. It is usually tender to press. You can do some circular motions, or you can just simply sink and just leave it there. Finally, the liver channel is addressed because tension in the liver channel and organ is always associated with migraines and tension headaches. The liver channel controls the tendons and attachments of muscles. An important point is liver free. Its Chinese name is Great Surge. That is because it encourages a great release and pouring of energy through the channels once a stagnation is dispersed. It also helps to lift depression, alleviate pain, and calm the emotions. Why is a point on the foot used for treating the head? This is because the liver pathway starts on the foot and ascends up the inner part of the leg, passes into the torso through the liver organ where it has a great influence, hence its name, and then passes up into the head through the eyes. Liver free. To find liver free, it is between the big toe and second toe. Simply slide your finger down between the big and second toe, and where your finger falls into a dip, this is the point. Press and release, press and release. Or massage in a circular way for 20 seconds to 1 minute. There are some considerations. When the head is very painful and warm, consider using distal points, that is, points further away from the head, to draw down the excess energy. These would be points like the large intestine 4 point on the hand or liver free point on the foot. If headaches are caused by faulty living, then seek to correct that first. For example, excess rich foods, alcohol, lack of sleep, too much screen time, lack of water and excess coffee, not getting enough fresh air, or just living in a very stressful lifestyle. These are 4 basic acupressure points for headache. There are other points that are just as good, but these are good to start with. When you have a headache, practice 2 or 3 times a day, working on these points for 20 seconds, up to 1 minute if you want to, for each point. If any of these points don't feel right to press, simply miss them out. Your body has its own intuition of what is good for it.